Does the RexFly system make it easier to fly fish from a kayak? My thoughts and review this week on Kayak Hacks. This is what I'm going to cover in the video. If you want to go right to the bottom line, jump ahead to 6 minutes 25 seconds. When you first get the RexFly system, your tendency will be put it on and then just adjust the back straps to fit tightly. But if you have it too low, notice that it will sag right here when you have your fly rod attached. Here's what it looks like properly adjusted. So you can see that I've raised this up. I could even raise it up higher if I wanted. I think this is probably a good height for me. And when the fly rod is on here, there's a lot less dangle. There's a much smaller gap, and it's more comfortable to wear. And now it's an easy matter if I can just pull it off, cast normally, or if I want to leverage the capabilities of the system, hit the detent, and now cast effortlessly with much less stress for an all-day fishing trip, because I'm not throwing the weight of the reel around as well. One of the great features of the RexFly system is that on a kayak, as you strip line back, you can strip it back in a figure-8 pattern, and that's going to keep it untangled so you're ready for your next cast. Undo the detent, and all the motion of the line is right here between my legs, where it's unlikely that it's going to get caught on anything. A great feature. Then I can do the double strip to really move a streamer or a mullet top water plug back very quickly. And I get this nice pattern here at the bottom. No tangles. Great feature. The other significant advantage of this system is you minimize the opportunity to get your line tangled as you cast. Without this system, your reel will be on the rod, and as you cast, note that you have two strands of line moving around. And if there's a little bit of wind, these are going to blow and potentially catch on something on your kayak. With the RexFly system, the only thing in motion is the rod and the line that you are double hauling with, minimizing the opportunity to tangle this elsewhere. The final advantage of this is if you're tangled up back in the marsh grass and you pick up a nice big redfish way back there in the marsh, now you're going to have to paddle to get close to them. Well, instead of having to lay your rod down on the front of the kayak and have it poking into anything that you might run into, I put the handle back on, I get the fish on the reel, and now I can paddle with my rod tip high out of the way of anything that's going to obstruct my movement from where I caught the fish to where I need to be to land the fish. And I can hesitate as I paddle to take up the slack, because this is now being held by the RexFly system. Pretty neat system. I really like this. I'll show you how it worked when I was out kayak fishing the other day. Sadly, I didn't catch a fish, but at least I was efficient with this system. While you can paddle with this connected to the RexFly system, I think it's easier just to take it off and lay it in front of you and then paddle without the fly rod being in the way. However, if you're just going a short distance, that's probably going to be okay. I can throw with the reel on if I want. But that's pretty heavy. I like this. Now to cast again, I just unhook it from the rod and cast again. Stripped all the line out, no problem. And when I've got a little bit of a bird's nest, I can just attach it out of the way of all the stuff on the bottom of my kayak. And I've got a fish finder, tackle boxes. I've even got a spin rod hanging off the left-hand side, and I'm able to keep this fly line out of the way of that. I can make this mullet imitation move so much faster and better with the two-handed strip. Casting into the wind here on the tidal flats, I feel like I can get a little more control and a little more distance because I can punch it out. Whoa. All the line went out. I think I've got a lot more leverage up here at the top from this sitting position. And if I need to get the fish on the reel, I just pull it out, the reel's attached. Now I can work it on the reel if I had a fish on that needed to pull against the drag as opposed to fingering the drag. I like this. With the rod, with the reel. That easy and that quick. So what's my conclusion on this RexFly system? Well, the only negative I see to it, and that's my personal preference, it tends to bend out a little bit. And that makes the rod bob up and down a little more than is comfortable for me. So for that reason, I'm not going to use this while I'm paddling. But it's an absolute dream to have this on here and be able to cast without that heavy reel on while I'm sitting in the kayak. Because when you're sitting, you don't have the extra leverage of the body movement to help project your cast. Everything is basically just your arm instead of shoulders and everything else that you can normally use to have an easy, smooth cast. I like the fact that it goes on and comes off easy. I like the fact that I can release the rod just as easy by pressing on this detent. This is a nice system. Again, I'm not going to paddle with the thing on. I'll just put my rod in front of me on the kayak and that'll be just fine. I like it. What's your perspective? Put it in the comments below. Take care.